If you're new to the channel, my name's Caleb and I'm a copywriter from London, and in this video today I'm going to be showing you exactly how to get copywriting clients on LinkedIn. Now, I've had this video requested to me a few times, people asking me how I use LinkedIn, because if you've been following my channel for a while, you will know that I am very pro LinkedIn. I think it is one of the best places to grow as a small entrepreneur. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to best set up your profile, how to look for leads, and the right messaging to send them to hopefully turn them into clients. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so before we get into this, one thing you should know about LinkedIn is that it does depend on which industry you're in. So I would have LinkedIn regardless of what industry you're in. However, some industries have much more success than others. So for me, it makes a lot of sense for me to be on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is generally for B2B companies. So companies looking to work with other companies, and also much more in the corporate space. So all tech, software, finance, fintech, they are all on LinkedIn. It's like their platform. If, for example, you are in the e-commerce space or the fashion space or the fitness space, then Instagram is probably more for you. I would say still have LinkedIn. It's still worth doing. But I think about where your clients are hanging out. That's where you need to be. That's why I'm so hot on LinkedIn, because all the finance companies are on LinkedIn. It's just where they hang out. So bear that in mind when you're outreaching. So first things first, you want to make a LinkedIn profile, obviously. But I think the way you make it is very important. So as with anything, as with any kind of social media platform, presentation is everything. So as you can see here, I've got quite a professional looking profile picture. Someone took a photo of me in an event and it's got me in a suit and it looks quite professional because I'm targeting people in financial services. So I want to look a bit more professional. Very important, the profiles that you have. I have a little module inside my school community, my free school community for copywriters, where it shows you exactly what to do and what to not do for profile pictures in order to attract clients, because it really does matter the picture that you have. I would make an effort to make a nice banner. It goes a long way. It just shows you're a bit more serious about things. You could even just have it as a block color or some kind of gradient or something like that. I'm not the best designer in the world, but I've just made a little thing here with my logo and my tagline, and then a little uh, you know search bar like that. Try not to rip off my profile completely. I've seen some of you already do this. You just literally carbon copied my profile. It's not going to work because obviously I'm doing it better. So find a new avenue where you can maybe do things better than I have, because that will serve you much better. So then what I would have is I would have copywriter in your bio. Okay, very important, because it means that also you're going to show up on recruiters and other people's searches. So if you don't have copywriter anywhere in your profile, it's not no one's going to be able to find you on the search. So I would have copywriter in the particular niche, and then I'd maybe have a little tagline here about what you do. So I help, I don't know, YouTubers grow their high ticket offers, or I help e-commerce companies with their email marketing. And then maybe something here, just, additionally. I have this here specifically because I've noticed people are looking for SEO and financial services. So I've got that there just so they know what I do. And then in the bio, have your website, which in this case, if a copywriter, would be your portfolio. This is essentially my portfolio. Obviously, I am now running more of a business and more of an agency, so it's a little different for me now. But it's the fundamentals are the same. You just want to have a link to verify that you are real. A website and a portfolio serve the same purpose, which is just to clarify that you're a real person, you're a real business. So that's absolutely essential. Then in your about section, you can go one of two ways. Like, you don't have to have a full bio here if you don't want to. I would recommend maybe just having something simple here. I don't think it's too important, but it's a nice opportunity to have a bit more of an essay about what you do and specifically the problem that you solve. But if you haven't got anything yet, if you're a beginner, I wouldn't worry too much. You can just have maybe a link to your website or something, or just a sort of more fleshed out description of your tagline. Then, in terms of posting, you don't have to. I don't think it's essential either. It's very helpful to post, and I would say have a blend of personal and professional is the way I like to say it. So as you can see here, I've got personal things like I bumped into Gary Stevenson, the guy who does Gary's Economics. I was mid-run and I bumped into him and I got a lot of traction on that. It was good. But then I also do, you know, more professional things. Like I went to a conference, the specific things that I do, how I plan to use AI and SEO, like work that I've done. You know, it's not necessarily about like attracting new people here. It's about showing that you're active because potential clients or clients that I land often then say, "Oh, I saw your post and I really liked them, and you were top of mind when we needed someone for financial content." So you're doing it to stay relevant, to stay present, to stay active in people's feeds. Now, in terms of your experience, I would have all the jobs you've done listed here, and the details are really important. So make sure everything's done right. If you don't have much experience, it doesn't matter. Just make, say, a company page for the copywriting project you're doing, even if it's just your name. You know, I used to be Caleb Hinton copywriter. That was just I used to just freelance. I was just self-employed. But I made a company page called Caleb Hinton Copywriter. In fact, I wonder if it actually still exists. Caleb Hinton Copywriter. No, it doesn't exist. I deleted it. But anyway, I still had that when I was very new. And it just shows, it does make a difference, okay? Because it shows that you're serious. It shows it's a real thing. You're not just messing around. It's a proper thing. Okay, so when it comes to finding clients, all right, it's a bit of a strange platform, is LinkedIn. It's very restrictive in the amount of outreach you can do. And it has these weird little rules inside it, like certain things you can't do, like never put a link in a post and always engage at certain times. It's quite restrictive because obviously it's for business, so they have to be quite stringent with what people can and can't do in it. But it can be quite annoying at times. So I'm just going to show you some features now that you may or may not want to use. So first of all, you have premium, right? Premium allows you to do slightly more things, but they have lots of upsells all the way up until Sales Navigator. So I have used Sales Navigator a few times, and I would genuinely say I'm not sure it's worth it for beginners because it's £80 a month, which is quite a lot if you're starting out. And I think you can get just as much success on just free LinkedIn as it is. I think the only real benefit of Sales Navigator is creating lead lists. So it has a feature in here, as you can see, where you can filter by specific things. It's a similar way to how Apollo works. It's kind of like a built-in Apollo function. But to be honest, Apollo and buying leads is much better anyway. So I recommend just sticking with LinkedIn free for now. And if you feel like you want to upgrade to some of the more premium features, you can do. Because some of the more advanced things like Dripify and Skylead will work best with Sales Navigator, but that's a conversation for another day. Okay, so to start looking for clients, it's a bit of a strange thing, but basically what you have to do is you have to go to the search bar and then just press enter to do like a blank search and then come to this point here. So I would then go to companies, go to locations, and here I start adding the details of the ideal clients that I want to work with. So for me, it's London. Okay, so companies in London, and then industry, as you will know, financial services. Okay, and then I generally work with smaller companies, so 1 to 10, 11 to 50, and lots more here. Now, as I said earlier, like about Sales Navigator, there are more metrics you can do within Sales Navigator, but I think this is enough for you to start. So we've got these companies here. Okay, so then what I would do is I would then start looking through here and pitching them. I already know most of these because I've been around a bit. I mean, I say a bit, just a year, but that seems a long time for some people. But I know some of these companies. So I would try and look through and pick one that I maybe haven't seen before. So maybe Monovate. Okay. And I would look at this company. Now, I have a previous video on how a copywriter fits into a business. I would watch that before doing this because you need to understand where you're going to fit into the business. But then what I would do is I'd go on people, okay, and I'd start looking through, okay, who works here, what's going on in this company, and I would maybe type in marketing. So, they don't have someone clearly doing their marketing, but they clearly have good marketing. Like they clearly, this is a cool site that I like. I really like the branding. Yeah, they've clearly like invested in their marketing because this is really, really good. And they have a newsroom, insights. Okay. Yeah, so it's I would say like my gut feeling is that are they've hired an agency or someone and they're obviously doing pretty well. I mean, they've got funding via Crunchbase and they're doing well. So the way I would do this would be to find someone who I'm going to contact. So I would probably, so there's a co-founder here. Let's have a look at the other founders. I've just done that wrong. Founder. Okay. Michael, Scott Lucas. All right, let's have a look at both of these guys. Okay, so this guy's the CEO, and this guy is the president and the chief commercial officer. So I think this guy is like the true founder. Always a good person to target. Okay, so what I would do is I would just simply connect, right? And then I would then wait until he connects and then message. You can send a message in the connection. So, for example, this guy, you can press connect and you can add a note and being like, "Hi Scott, I really like this, blah blah blah." I wouldn't do that. I've seen people complaining about it online. They don't like people doing it. It's not necessarily the best way to start things. Beginnings are delicate times. You can't always just shoot in and start trying to get something from someone before they even know who you are. So it's best to sort of deliver value first. The way I like to do it is add them. And then what I do is I then, every now and then, I will go into my connections list, okay? And I will take a look at, actually it hasn't done it. Okay. So what I will do is I'll go into, my connections list, and then I will have a look at the people that have connected me. And I might see like, oh, interesting, this person's connected with me. They clearly looked at my profile. And also what you can do is you can look at who has seen your profile. So if I go in here and I see someone and they've looked at my profile, I then maybe then send them a message then and say, hey, Michael, very interested in what you're doing at Motivate. Like, I hope you, if there's anything you like or anything you need, please let me know. Um, and I'd love to help you out. That's then the value of posting, because they immediately can then look at what I do and they can know what I do and have something to go on. If you have a blank profile and you start messaging people, you have a weak profile, it's going to seem very odd. They don't trust you, they don't know you. You're going to seem dodgy. So that's the value of having a very high quality profile, because it just builds that trust when you're trying to do this kind of thing. Yeah, so that's essentially it. I think if you combine that with the video I posted previously um, about the outreach on email, and if you combine these together, that is literally what I do to find clients now. I go on much more of a trust basis, on using my intuition, on thinking about the exact kind of client I can work with and how I can help them. The email blasts and the DM blasts can work, but they start to get dry over time. They don't, they're not, the longevity isn't there for that. You remember, like with LinkedIn, you're trying to build a real network. Okay. You're trying to build a real business, a real solution. You're not trying to con people. You're trying to make um, this network of people. Okay. That's the power of it. So like everyone that follows me either works in finance or as a copywriter. Okay, so I have this network that when I post and when I do these things, it's relevant to the right people, and that's why I get, you know, good good traction. I get good views on my profile. I have a nice amount of followers, and it's just like making those revolutions to build up your professional network. In terms of what to actually say to people, here is a good example. So this guy is called Ethan. He is, I don't know him personally, but I've spoken with him a few times and I've seen some of his sales reps posting on LinkedIn, and he does LinkedIn outreach as a service for coaches and consultants. Okay. And there are many like him. It's a very, very good industry, but I think he is a good example. I think he does things very, very well. And as you can see here, this is the outreach message he sent to me. He said, "So lucky meeting good old Gaz. I hope the run wasn't too tiring. I appreciate the support on the post. See your post recently. How's LinkedIn been?" And he forwarded my post to me of when I met Gary. Now, um, as you can see here, he's just started a conversation. Okay. And like, I know he's trying to sell something. I know his business, but it's already just such a better relationship, like there's that transparency. There's a bit more of a conversation. He's not just trying to get my money. He's given me the impression that he does kind of care a little bit about what I do, and he's interested in my life. Um, that makes all the difference with outreach. Okay. So when you connect with these clients, try and think of some way that you can help them or give them assistance or say something interesting to them. Don't just try and bang, here's my services, because they don't trust you. They're not going to necessarily, um, you know, want to work with you. So I think when you pitch, just try and always think of them. Do not speak about yourself in the first message. I mean, never even speak about yourself until they ask you. Always speak about just them. Okay. So just say, what do you do? What's your service? How are you looking to grow? What's this? Can I best help you with that? Like always about them. Um, so if you keep that mentality in mind, um, you're gonna make a good impression. Now, I didn't even end up working with this guy, but I just thought it was a really, really good outreach message, and he sent me a call after. But at the end of the day, like, even if he hasn't landed me as a client, I'm still now a follower of this guy. So I'm gonna like, I like his posts and I see his services, and I might recommend him to someone else. Okay, like he's made that little bridge, and he's probably done this to thousands and thousands of people that then create this network, and then people tend to work with people that they know, so they get referrals and they move around, and that's how you end up winning clients through LinkedIn. Um, so yeah, that's about it. I'll probably make a part two. Go into a bit more detail. Let me know in the comments what you want to learn more about, because there's so much to LinkedIn. It is quite literally, um, it's a gold mine. There's a lot in it, so there's a lot to learn about it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
And there's these other files that are just like numbers arrayed, numbers and dates and numbers and numbers and dates and numbers, and I think that's the shit, man. The raw intelligence.